Ugh, faces are so hard to draw. Every time I try to draw side profile faces, they look extremely flat and I never know where to place the eyes. Why is the character looking at me like that? Please, Brown Dart Sensei, I need help. Don't worry, son. The king is here. Okay, right now it's too much. You want to draw faces and you struggle for a long time, but don't worry, I am here for you. I'm going to tell you step by step how I draw faces. Then I'm gonna tell you stuff that you must do to make them look the best, and more importantly, the things that you shouldn't do. Before starting, let me present myself to you. I am Ibrando and I am a manga artist since not less than 6 years. When I started drawing, I was not gifted with any kind of art talent. My drawings were really disappointing and I even wanted to stop drawing a lot of times, especially when drawing faces. Faces were just hard to draw and I won't even try to give you a reason, bro, I just sucked. But actually, let me tell you the reason. I didn't use a correct method. That's that simple. Now subscribe and like the video. Peace. No, actually, the method that I should have used was the one that felt the best for me. Do you really think that using a method that doesn't feel right for you is going to help you draw them faces? Of course not. And this is going to lead us to the first step for drawing nice faces, using the right method. Let's see what is the right method. The right method for me is a method that is practical and that I like using. For me, it was the Loomis method, a method that I'm going to explain to you later in the vid. There's multiple methods and I'm going to list them for you. First off, the Asaro method. This method is a pretty hard one, but it's very practical, especially for studying face structure. This method was created by John Asaro to study how faces works, how and where to place the shadows and highlights. It can also help you to see how the face is structured with anatomy, etc. Alright, now I did the Wikipedia presentation, but let's be real here, I don't like the Asaro method. I just use it to study because it's basically a great method to analyze the composition of the face. This is really a method that I will only use to study, nothing more, but if you find that method useful, let me show you how to use it and do it. First, you draw a circle, which is basically a simplified version of the skull. Then you can make a line in the middle that is going to help you have symmetry on your face. Put a horizontal line that goes through the middle of the circle. Place the nose, forehead and chin lines. Here I place the forehead and the nose perfectly in the middle between the eyes line and the circle. But if you want, you can change their placement. They just need to stay horizontal. We're then going to place those two curves that are going to help us place the jaw and even build the forehead after. Put the jaw at the neck and you can go on doing the final skull shape. Then the face composition. Start with adding the placement of the eyes, then from here you can add the nose. With the nose, make sure that you really make it in 3 dimensions. Here you start putting the forehead in 3D. If you want to do that part, pay attention to where I place the lines. Volume is going to help with shadows, but if you actually don't know how to draw faces at all, don't directly focus on shadows. For making the mouth, you can obviously choose where you are going to put it, but the most human accurate proportion is this. Divide in 3 parts the space between the nose and the chin, and start drawing the mouth at the 1/3 line. Like the nose, don't forget to put it in 3D. Then we are going to do those lines that are basically going to define the cheekbones and add volume to the chin. And finally, we are going to add the ears, starting from the eyes line and finish it at the end of the nose. Alright, now you know why I don't actually like that method. There's just too much things to do and too much proportions to respect. If you want to use that method, I recommend to just use it when you're studying an art style or that you have to set features on your character, but nothing more. Then the Reilly method. I'm not gonna teach you that method right here because first of all, I just don't use it because the Asaro method works better in general. Only because I don't want to teach you something that I genuinely don't think is effective. And the last reason is, bro, come on, like, look at this. If I start drawing faces like that, I'm going to build up bad habits, really bad habits. So no Reilly method in here, but don't be sad. At the end of that session, you will have everything you need to draw faces that doesn't look like that. Now the method that I use, the Loomis method. Alright, you've probably seen a lot of vids talking about this method and it's completely normal. This method and the most popular one for no reason. It's a method that you can use with every kind of art style because it's really a quick method and it gives you a lot of freedom. The thing is that method is a pretty hard one to learn, or I wouldn't say hard, but long one is better because myself included, I took a long time to integrate that method. Let me show you how it's done. We're going to start exactly like the Asaro method with a circle and the eyes line. We cut the circle because the head is not actually shaped like this and we can erase what we won't need. I erase the bottom of the circle because I am going to draw the mouse line, and from there I can draw the mouse line in the chin. I do those two curves that here are going to give volume to the face and define the cheekbones. You add the ears and then you can finish it with the forehead line. Here I really simplified the most I could for you to have the fundamentals of the face. This is basically it for how to draw a normal face. Start actually mastering this stage before getting to the second part, which is drawing and studying faces from references in other angles. Okay, so now that you master the front view of the face, you can go on studying references. Let's take this picture. Here we are doing a huge jump in terms of level, but don't worry, if you respect those 3 steps, drawing this kind of faces will be easy and fun at some point. The first step, be consistent. Don't think that you are going to draw perfect faces right now, you have to be dedicated first. The second step, learn from your mistakes. Don't blame yourself for your mistakes, learn from them. You will see that you will eventually get way better with the step. And the last step, have fun with it. Fun is the best way to learn. This is why you learn video games easily and that you become better at them faster, for example. That picture seemed pretty fun to study, that's why I took it. And now let's see how to use the Loomis method in here. Okay, so here I put the head structure so you can actually see that the Loomis method works with multiple angles. You just have to understand that the face has perspective, that's why we can see the second eye on side profile faces. Here you can even see that the nose is hiding her right eye a little bit. Drawing from references like this will make you better at understanding how faces works. So this is your actionable step for today. Study faces with the Loomis method. You are not even forced to study realistic faces. If you have an art style that you like more than realism, study it. Me, I personally draw manga art, so I will study how mangakas do their faces, but there's a lot of art style you can use to study. Drawing faces is basically something you master with practicing. And like I said before in the vid, if you prefer using the Asaro method, go for it. I'd rather see you use that method and be better with it than using the Loomis method and struggling. Something really important for drawing nice faces is not giving yourself too much limits. There will be a point where you will be able to follow your own flow, and at that moment you will know that you are evolving. Here's some really important spots you need to study to draw nice faces. Neck anatomy. The neck is really going to give sense and direction to your faces, so learning how to place them neck muscles is really important. Then the eyes. Eyes have volume too. They will not look the same on every angle, don't forget that. Then the ears. Don't skip ears. Learn how they look, because even though not everybody is going to look at this type of tiny details, they still make your faces look more professional. In here you have everything to draw nice faces. The thing is that, like drawing bodies, faces comes with a lot of other things to learn. You will have to draw hairs, for example, and really I might repeat myself, but you really need to be consistent. Drawing nice faces took me 6 years to accomplish, because I did not have all the knowledge that I'm giving you in that session. With faces, there is a high probability of me doing a second part, because this is really a subject that needs to be taken with time and depth. Right now, I gave you all the basics. First off, we saw different methods to draw faces. The Asaro method, the Loomis method. Then we saw how to use them for studying and even make our own faces. And we ended with the really important spots you need to know for making good faces. We're seeing a complete rise of people who want to be artists, and my goal here is to help beginners and even already experienced artists to become better. So if you want to join us, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.